in charge of this great tussle and a real great atmosphere. Referee Eddie Ward trying to handle all the pressure of it. The Broncos to kick off. Out of form, they say, against St George last week. The big match situation might bring them back to their best. Langer. Down for Daly. Daly wearing the 13 at lock forward this afternoon. Away from Kevin Walters, he's wrapped up as he tries to get it out of the 22 on the first. Lazarus up the middle. A disastrous start for them against Brisbane here last year. They let the Broncos escape in the opening 15 minutes. That's well and truly on their minds in this one. Coyne. 32 out, 3 defenders on him. They slam him to the ground. Back waiting was Stewart. He was the decoy. It went to Daly. He gets it down for Curry. Curry taken quickly by Scott Gale. Good driving low tackle. The sun's finally out here in Brisbane. It's been fairly cloudy, and with it all, it's very, very humid, Wayne, isn't it, out in the field?
Very humid out there. In fact, this crowd won't be helping at all either, because whatever breeze could have come into the ground, I'm sure that the people standing right around the rims of the hill will be stopping that. It's a great atmosphere here. I'm sure the players will love it, and these fans are here to watch Brisbane win, and I think they'll be very hard to beat.
They switch now to Langer. Miles. Upended by Steve Walters on the last tackle now for Brisbane. Langer. Plenty of time. Kicking away from McDonald. Confidently picks it up on the half volley. Renouf missed him.
He's got big shoes to fill, McDonald, but he had a good game last week, Graham. If he can back that up, he'll be more than happy.
Stewart. Meninga looking for an early touch to settle himself down. Barnhill. Back they go. Daly again with the kick. Touched. Everybody's onside. Bounce sits up there. Away from Plowman. Bell's got it. Gale. Now he's got support. Matt Wood. Tremendous cover defence from Kevin Walters. The bounce of the ball favouring the Raiders on the attack. They go wide. Gale. Daly. Daly has Meninga to his outside. Now he uses him. Renouf got a hand to it. He'll be called back. The advantage was played by Ward. The crowd tells us the penalty has come for the Raiders. Daly was waiting at the death to drag Renouf in, and he knocked the ball up. He was away, but the advantage was played for the offside.
A good decision there by Ward. They were struggling to get back Brisbane. They couldn't get back out on the edges of the field. That's where Canberra pushed the ball. I think a sin bin would have been a suitable result there.
Well, Steve Renouf got a hand to it. And for those viewers that are concerned about our pronunciation of Renouf or Renouf, we've had the call from the dressing room that it is Renouf. Meninga now. The angle for him, about 15 metres in from touch. The Raiders looking to hit first. The try was on. They might have to settle for the goal. They do through Meninga. Canberra grabbed the early lead, just 2 points to 0. Crowd must be around 28,000. The first Friday night game here, it was announced at around 25. Certainly looks to be a lot more in. Langer. Down for Stewart. Offhands it for Bell. Bell straightens and gets to the 22. Steve Walters. Always menacing from that dummy half position. Strong runner. The Raiders get another penalty. Steve Walters will enjoy the fact that his brother was caught out. And brother Kevin was doing his best to make sure that he held him down. Quick tap from the Raiders sees Todd take it to halfway. Lazarus. Slowly getting to his best form. He scored a super front rowers try after backing up from a scrum against Parramatta last week. Meninga. McDonald will be trapped 40 metres out from the Brisbane line. One more left for the green machine. Stewart across field. Gale onside, is chasing to the in-goal. Plowman gets there, has to hurry. And the in-goal judge will be asked to report to Eddie Ward. Line dropout is the call. Plowman was forced to make the ball dead himself. Good chasing from Gale to apply the pressure. Replay will show the ball was just stopping for the Raiders. Well, I thought it might have just about touched the chalk. Line ball decision.
It sure was. I wouldn't have liked to have had to adjudicate on that, but he was in the right position too.
Coyne. Ball was breaking towards the sideline awkwardly. Meninga. Looking for possession early. He's gone amongst the forwards, searching for it. Todd. Support play there was coming. Barnhill plays it right in midfield. Stewart. Stewart throws the dummy. The gap was closed quickly by Allen, who read it. Daly. Back up the middle for Steve Walters. Meninga. Pushing away the defence. And then 3 Broncos come to finish him off. Penalty goes against Canberra. Against some of Meninga's teammates for pushing the defenders away. Eddie Ward said, "I'll referee this game." They were trying to get him off him quickly. Eases the situation for Brisbane. How do you see this head-to-head between Langer and Stewart?
Halfbacks never really come head-to-head, do they? Their performances are going to be weighed up on how they play relatively, but the only time they'll meet is from the scrum base. They'll both play back in cover defence in defence, and they'll take the first pass off the ruck in attack.
Brisbane now to bring it away. 20-12 they were beaten by St George last week, the Broncos. Now the lower grades, the under-21s, the President's Cup convincingly to the Broncos 22-8. 16 all in reserve grade after being down 16-4 the Raiders. Cheer for Langer chasing the kick. He brings off the second tackle.
I've got to say I'm surprised at how well Canberra have started this game. They've got a few gambles, a few young faces in the team, but they're playing with plenty of confidence. Brisbane, to me, look a little bit flat, but I think they'll work their way into this match.
Coyne taken right on halfway. Stewart driving the ball low and hard away from Curry. Well, Stewart kicked it. All of a sudden, Curry realised he was confronted by the man who kicked it. He was well and truly onside.
If enthusiasm counts for anything, it's round 1 to the Raiders.
Kerrod Walters trying to take a leaf out of brother Steve's book up the middle. Now Allen, that's dangerous. Trapped by Kerrod Walters, who was still back there on the ground. Miles. Kerrod Walters once more. Langer wants it. Sloppy play the ball from Kerrod Walters. Kevin Walters goes inside and caught plenty for his trouble. Miles. Kicking, but that was easy for Darryl McDonald. Away from G. Straightens up. Breaking 2 and 3 tackles. Taken in the 4th by Gavin Allen. Daly. The Raiders looking sharp. Meninga. Martin is wrapped up just inside that sideline. Barnhill straightens the attack well. Stewart. Coyne is wide. Ankle tap by Langer, who comes again. Wood. Wood couldn't keep his feet. He was right through. That would have been extra dangerous. Stewart. Long pass out for Daly. Showed the ball a couple of times. Now back for Steve Walters. The gap is there. Todd, Lazarus, a mile of players left over. Gale goes back infield. They've got the start they've come searching for. A shock crowd here at Lang Park. The Broncos have been standing off and dropping off some tackles as well. But good hands and a nice start here for Canberra. They went one way. On the last, on the MMI replay, Daly shaped a kick. The defence stood back. They didn't move up and keep their line here. Stewart got it away nicely, and good quick hands through the front row pair of Todd and Lazarus on the wrong side for the cover defence. All he had to do was change direction. Scotty Gale.
First blood to Canberra and a good confident start, but put this down to some very sloppy defence. Now have a look at it. Daly shaped a kick. He shrugged his hands free of 2 tackles. Steve Walters, he followed suit and did the same thing. And then it was quick hands out to Scott Gale. Gale had a little bit of room to work in. He stepped off the left foot and beat 1 tackle and then beat a 2nd tackle. All too easy.
The teacher at 26 years of age, who's enjoying life out in the centres after coming across from Norths, picks up a try. Right next to the posts. 58 points so far for the Raiders in the Winfield Cup of 91, but only 5 goals. They had problems last week, and they still have problems from right next to the woodwork. It's 6-0 Canberra over Brisbane. Plenty of sunshine around now here in Brisbane after plenty of overcast conditions earlier, making it nice and warm for the players.
Well, Graham, I came here firmly in the belief that if Brisbane couldn't beat Canberra today, they'd never beat them. I don't think Canberra are anywhere near at their best. Brisbane almost at full strength, but if I was Wayne Bennett, I'd be a little bit worried at the moment.
Lazarus, much better defence up the middle. They've struggled with their defence a bit and their line, Wayne.
Yes, they have, particularly on the reverse pass. That try was the result of Brisbane keeping the ball alive, switching the play back across the ruck, and the Brisbane side didn't move up. Now, at this early stage of the match, it can't be fatigue. It's just got to be a frame of mind, and they've got to snap out of that quickly.
The Broncos try and get it started from this scrum. Renouf will play it right on the 22. Plowman, a real handful, gets 10 metres away. Looking for an instant reply. Allen will play it only 7-8 metres away. Langer. Kevin Walters. Poor pass from him, taken by Hancock. Hancock still going. Gets it back for Tasman. Johns. He ran out of options. And the Raiders showed that they kept their line. Both sides. Langer. Right up the middle for Miles. They didn't on that occasion. Nearly paid the penalty for it. Kerrod Walters. Out for Renouf. Does a juggling act, gets it back in. Now Tasman. Tasman's going to put up the bomb. McDonald underneath, who's going to challenge him. He fumbled it. They'll get the ball back, Brisbane. He lost that one in flight.
This is a test for any young man in his 2nd game in the top grade. There wasn't much pressure coming through in the form of people, but the pressure was in his mind.
More pressure coming up for Canberra. They're in no hurry to take this drop out. Getting in a few deep breaths is Stewart.
Brisbane have looked a lot better since that try was scored against them. They've realised that Canberra have come here and mean business.
Plowman all fired up. Back for Langer. He's taken by Matthew Wood. All of a sudden, they're finding a bit more pace to their game, the Broncos. Gilmister. Allen has the support of Kevin Walters. He was through a half gap, but he couldn't get the ball. Tasman. Bulldog to the ground and away by Laurie Daly. Miles sits it up for G. Well, I think Andrew G overdid it, but there was no need for the swinging arm from Barnhill. Now G is going to get a warning from the referee over it all.
Yeah, it was Academy Award stuff, wasn't it?
There's no doubt about the swinging arm. The locals turning out in big numbers, now hoping for their first points of the match. Wayne Bennett working overtime on the walkie-talkie.
Hasn't started on the fingernails yet, but
Alan Langer, of all people, kicking for goal. He hits the upright from nearly right in front. So it's goal-kicking problems for two of the best teams in the Winfield Cup.
And Graham, that was disgraceful chasing by the Brisbane side as well, because he ran the ball back to the 22-yard line. He should have been pinned in the end goal.
you know, it's almost, I can't believe that teams go into a first-grade rugby league game without a specialist goal kicker. A goal is worth 2 points, half a try. You've just got to have someone on the field at all times that can pot those 2-pointers for you.
Stewart gets the kick away, and a long one it is too. Hancock gets back there. He's got Curry in support. Faces up to Meninga, and he beats him well. Against one of the biggest men in the cup. He bounced Meninga out of the way. Gilmeister taken. Really put Meninga off balance. Head on, he went crunch. Now the crowd gets behind their side. Chant goes up for the Broncos. Langer changing direction. Allen standing flat, wasn't expecting the change.
Yeah, Eddie Ward's got to get these players back 5 metres. It's not the ones that are close to him near the ruck. It's the ones out wide that keep turning the ball back inside. Get them back, we'll see an open game.
Johns taken 38 metres out from the Canberra line on the last tackle. Langer searching with these kicks, trying to put and find, I should say, Darryl McDonald out of position. Martin has it, and Renoff's got him. Very humid here in Brisbane. The forwards will be feeling the pinch. The interchange will probably be working overtime this afternoon. That ball looked forward to Meninga. He's lost it too. Cheer from the crowd. I thought he was in front of Walters.
Second mistake Canberra have made trying to play their way out of trouble. They weren't punished on the first occasion.
Running caution for Barnhill. Langer for Kevin Walters. Johns has time to get it back to Walters. Dummied inside to Curry. Not this occasion though. Curry claiming he was tackled before he had the ball. Now, McDonald's got 5 minutes in the bin. They're down to 12. I just wonder how close this one was. Langer. If we go back to the replay, well, it was touch and go. Very much a line ball. They've been marched another 10 as Langer took a quick tap. Again, he taps it. Plowman. Plowman only 5 metres away. No confidence at all in the goal-kicking game. They want tries. G. Allen. From standing starts, they keep it alive. Now there's a real chance. Johns back in field for Renoff. Renoff straightens. The try line awaits. The ball was knocked back. G's got it, I think, and a try. Renoff was going to score, but they were momentarily brought undone. G picks up the dregs and a 4-pointer. They kept it alive on the MMI replay. G gets it out wide, and here it looked they had the numbers to stretch them. Renoff went back infield. He finally straightened, the big gap was there, and this tackle from Daly knocked the ball out, but only as far as G. No one in front of him.
Well, Brisbane can do this. They have the capacity to keep the ball alive, and Canberra always going to be stretched. They only had 12 men in their defensive line, but once again, as we've seen so many times this year, lady luck plays a part. Now, Renouf was missed in a tackle there, but the ball was jolted loose. There it was. Now, that's luck and nothing else, but G was there right on the spot to collect it.
Langer. Much more confident with his second attempt. And the Broncos bounce back. It's 6-all. At last, he says, and the flags fly high. Meninga with a restart. It was after Meninga had lost the ball, but the Broncos came up with the try.
They were made to pay for that second mistake.
Curry. Langer. Well, from the kickoff, they've got him stretched. Curry. He looked to the wrong side. Now he looks the right way. Kerrod Walters keeps it going. This game opening right up. Hancock stepping. Hancock looking for some open spaces. They need a quick play of the ball here. Canberra in trouble. Miles takes it over. Easily. Kevin Walters. Well, nobody's tackling. G. At 6s and 7s, Canberra. Plowman up the middle, try and stop him. 6 metres out from the Canberra line. They were here only a few moments ago.
They've never been set in this set of 6.
Langer. Langer sights it. Langer gets there. No! Now they do. Well, a little knock on. Interesting call. Did Brisbane lose it, or was it a Canberra boot?
I think you'll find that it's a Canberra boot here. He reached out to put the ball down. There it is. That's play on.
Well, for mine, it was a play on situation for a try. It was kicked out of the hands of Langer by Stewart. Plenty of drama right on the Canberra line. Now the Raiders will get a penalty. No argument about this one. Too many of the Broncos forwards had broken from the scrum before the ball came out. Well, let's have a look at this again. It was Alan Langer who was going to score for all money. And then it was Ricky Stewart, luckily for the Raiders, who just gets there. But the point is, was it a knock-on from Langer? Langer has control of the ball, and the ball is kicked clear. This is play on, in my view. I thought he was waiting for it to call a proper try.
Quick thinking by Stewart.
Great thinking from Stewart. How did you see it, Wayne?
Yeah, I thought it was play on. I mean, that is, in my eyes, that's a play on situation. But what I like to comment on, Graham, while I've got you there, is, apart from this break by Laurie Daly.
Well, it's come undone for them again. Well, 6 more tackles he's called for the Raiders. As they go wide to Stewart. Stewart's looking to keep this game open and clear. You were saying?
Yeah, I was saying there's no doubt in my mind that Brisbane have got the better attacking side, but they've also got the more vulnerable defensive side. So it's a matter of whether they can score enough points to win this match.
Penalties continue to fall for the Raiders. G was well and truly offside. He had never recovered his position. McDonald is back.
Well, games between Canberra and Brisbane have traditionally been high-scoring affairs, Graham, and I can't see this one being any different.
Especially as they continue to search for the sideline. Not too concerned with penalties. That would have normally been in the old range of Meninga, 40 out, nearly in front.
And that's when you get an opportunity also to have a blow, collect your thoughts and get ready.
But not on this occasion. Bell. Stewart. Ryan. Ryan will play it in midfield. Bell. Two of the best attacking units in the game of rugby league. Is it going to be tit for tat in this match all day? Counter-attack. The Raiders with the next chance. Stewart. The switch for Lazarus.
That's where they've been vulnerable all year. They don't go up on both sides of the ruck, Brisbane. You can switch the ball and catch them out.
Tessman luckily got there with the hit on Lazarus. Now Daly to the in goal. Curry picks it up well. Taken by Meninga. Hancock. Kevin Walters. He's been a danger every time he's touched it. Madison. Kerrod Walters for Tessman. They get it to about 35 out from their own line. And Langer to put the finishing touches to this 6 with the kick. Martin has it. He's taken by Kevin Walters and also G. McDonald. McDonald throwing the dummy and beating some easy tackles.
Now there's the defensive line now for Brisbane. You see back on that short side how the players didn't come up at all. They're still back waiting.
Well, they were waiting and luckily the ball fell for them, but it was put down by G. Stewart with the quick flick. Ryan couldn't handle it, and neither could G. He coughed it up as well. Langer with that trademark of his here in Brisbane normally feeds the scrum first time before the front rows even get settled. By rights, the referee should call him back. Now he goes wide. Kevin Walters knocked down by Meninga and knocked back to his own side.
Both sides are guilty here of not playing out their 6 tackles. They've got brilliant attacking players out wide in the back line, but they're trying to get the ball to them too early. It's all hot potato stuff and no settling down and getting field position.
Adventure on the mind of both these sides. 51 tackles overall possession for Canberra, 35 for Brisbane.
Here they go again.
Meninga to McDonald.
And they drop it again.
He was looking, and he was looking for Meninga, but it was never on. This is what's hurting Canberra. Just watch McDonald as he knew Meninga was trying to get there on the inside. That pass was never on.
It looks pretty, but it doesn't work. Well, not often, anyhow.
Hancock. Dowling is out there for his first touch.
That's more like it.
The Raiders have the best of possession in the opposition half as well. It'll just about be squared now, though, as long as the Broncos can hang on to it for 6. Madison out there with Dowling. As the interchange works, at least they have a specialist goal kicker. Gavin Allen straightens things up. 15 out from the Canberra line. Dowling just trying to draw the defence in, create something out wide for the backs. Miles keeping one hand free, looking for a runner. Langer calls Kerrod Walters around. He brings in Johns. He gets back there himself. It was good support play. He just couldn't take in the last pass. There was no doubt that a try was on the end of it. Here he is as he doubles around, and he needed somebody outside him as well, but he couldn't drag it in. Now it's Daly. Carey. The handling errors adjust against Brisbane. Bell ducking, but not ducking clear.
But that's a lot more solid what they've done so far. They've worked out of dummy half, they've worked one off the ruck, they've had quick play the balls, and they've earned a penalty for it.
Yeah, mate. They are looking tired. Maybe we're a little bit too tough on them here. It is so humid and hot.
It is, and it's been thriller-minute stuff too, hasn't it? There's been a lot of ball movement, and that means there's been a lot of movement of the defence, and coaches have been working the interchange to the absolute maximum, but I still think there can be a bit more security, a bit more solidarity about the way they're approaching the task.
Stewart gets Lazarus started. 5 apiece the penalties. Coyne.
I'll be surprised if they don't look to go back where they came from here shortly, because once again, Brisbane guilty of standing.
Well, Barnhill is standing and breaking tackles. And he's wasting no time about the play of the ball as they go back the other direction. Daly, Meninga, very deep back line, McDonald. He'll play it only 10 metres out from the line. Meninga down the blind.
Oh, he was offside. That was a penalty.
Well, he didn't play the ball properly either. Well, Meninga asked the question, was it me? What about the earlier offensive guys being offside? Here he tries to catch out Renouf.
Oh.
And in the play of the ball, well, he was appealing to the referee there. You could see the look on his face as he was hoping for a penalty, and then hands in there from Kerrod Walters. So on 2 occasions they should have got it. Dowling. Again, it's that hands in the play of the ball. How many appeals have to be made before somebody's going to do something about it?
The referee has got too many things to think about. That is the problem.
Langer. Renoff. Taken by Meninga and Martin. Now, some concern here in the play of the ball for Renoff. He's clutching at a knee, driving tackle from Meninga, and then he was sandwiched between Martin, and Meninga collapsed on his knee. Ball was lost. Kevin Walters. He gets clear again, and he's got support. Curry's flying onto it. Curry chased and grabbed by Martin. Martin was in the centres. Meninga was out on the wing. Plowman taken low by Bell. Langer. Miles was very deep and charging onto it. They let him go without it. Tessman will play it 9 metres out from the line. Kerrod Walters across the field, over the head of brother Kevin. Taken by Martin. Once more, they don't get to the end of 6. And they waste it. Todd brings it away. 6-all, Brisbane and Canberra. Stewart. Some wasted opportunities here in the first half for the Broncos. Maybe not, as Canberra give them another go. Dowling. They can set themselves either side here, right in midfield. Tessman. Better play to try and settle things down, allow themselves some room. Now they can go wide. Miles. Kevin Walters. Johns was flying onto it. Good defence from Stewart. And also Meninga to come in quickly. Kevin Walters. Madison. Madison will play it 5 metres away, and it's on the last. They're going to see out a full 6. Langer out wide for Plowman to climb. No, didn't get there. The ball had gone dead. Just too late. Good thinking kick from Langer. Plowman's there, grabs at it. Whoa, right on the line.
On the line's out.
Good call from the touch judge.
This is where Canberra have been getting into troubles. In their own quarter, they've been making uncharacteristic mistakes. They've been rushing things. They've had no one to settle the play down for them. Now they've got to take the bit between their teeth here, play a good solid 5, and then a good kick and chase.
Good hit from Tessman there on Daly. It's almost like they're trying to outplay each other and prove to each other just who's best in attack.
Anything you can do, we can do better. And that's not the approach to take against Brisbane. You won't beat them at their own game.
Daly for Meninga. Dummying. Now he brings Martin inside. Stewart.
Come on, go forward.
Coyne. They were all standing flat. 6-all here at Lang Park.
Turn, Gino.
Stewart on the last decides to try and run it. Meninga is forced to kick. Down to the in goal, bouncing, but it's going to stay in play. Curry. Difficult task here. And he played at them. He's got to travel 10 metres. Now, there's been a lot of problems with the players getting used to this rule in 91.
Well, Eddie Ward had a good gauge there, Graham. If the in goal is about 10 metres, we can measure that the player here, Curry, had to be about 1 metre or 2 into the field of play. So he gets towards the try line. He's playing with them here. He's toying with them and pulls the penalty.
They were right on the line. Curry knew he was going to get the penalty. Cleverly played.
Come and get me if you can.
A reminder about our Nissan match of the day tomorrow, Norths and Parramatta. The return of Peter Sterling. Is that enough for the Eels? We'll find out. You see it all on 10 Sport. Peter Peters will be back to join us. Allen hits it away. Now, Kevin Walters has been in everything. He backs up, but that one's forward. He was away. He looks skyward as he knows that the try was probably going to be on the end of this. Was it forward? Just. Eddie Ward in perfect position.
Graham, we've alluded to it so far, but Brisbane are trying to treat this ball with little respect. I mean, they're treating it like a hot potato, and that's going to be their downfall if they continue to do that in the second half. I'm sure Wayne Bennett will have some strong words about that at half-time.
Wayne, both sides seem to be guilty of not playing smart enough. They just seem to be caught in this catch-22 of doing what the other side's doing.
Exactly. There appears to be little pattern in either side, particularly Brisbane at this stage, and that's something as we've got somebody on the field in back play. Looks like a semi-streaker, but yeah, it's disappointing from the point of view that it would be a great spectacle if they would just set their back lines and move the ball around.
Well, let's stay with this play. Forget about fools. Langer will play it. Curry up in the line, and he's probably doing the work. There's probably got to be done some more from the forwards.
Well, as you suggested already, it's a very hot day and the backs are coming in to take the load off them and do their share, but they can only do so much. If they're in there, then they're not out in position when the time comes to fan the ball.
When they've fanned it, Kevin Walters has been the main strike power. Johns. Offside. Walters was 10-12 metres downfield, and that ball was punched forward by a Brisbane teammate.
He didn't have much choice.
He was into the gap again if he could have dragged it in. But then if Gale had have got it away, it was probably a try down the other end. Takes the fine catch. But we'd better come back for the penalty. After all their attack, Brisbane, now it's Canberra. They might have the final say before the break.
Well, they haven't been down this end for a long time, so it remains to be seen if they can make the most of it.
Carey wrapped up in midfield and hurt in the tackle. Quickly they grab his mouth guard, Gene Miles. He was backslammed by Miles. I wonder if the head really bounced into the turf. It was meant to hurt, but not like this. Wayne Bennett still concerned and waiting on the treatment here. Not so much for his players, but show of concern from everybody. If anything, it's both sides that will be welcoming this break. Finally to his feet, Carey. Carey will go sideline to check his whereabouts. Glenn Ryan will play it for Carey.
I think Carey was concerned there that it wouldn't be a scrum, that he didn't have to come back and play the ball, but someone else could play it for him.
Stewart. Quickly they try and break down a blindside. Daly heard the call, but it was Madison who gets there. Now Kevin Walters. So in search of adventure, again it breaks down. Plowman. Close thing, nearly a shepherd from Dowling. 6-all, the Broncos and the Raiders. Allen. Back for Gilmister. So much broken play. There hasn't been a lot of ball play for the forwards. Renoff! He charged onto that one. Stewart's coming across, just ankle taps him. He wasn't tackled. Quick thinking. Langer. Langer gets it back for Hancock, who cops it up. So many tries have been in the offering in this first half, but so many have gone begging. He might be able to add another one here. Renoff really flew onto that. He had Stewart done. He just got the hand out and the quick thinking, but the ball was put down by Hancock. McDonald. Dying seconds of this first half. Barnhill. Canberra more than happy to kill play. Ryan. Wrapped up by Kevin Walters and also Madison. Lazarus. Really made the advantage line strongly. 3 defenders needed to pull him down. Steve Walters. Coyne. Not a good pass back for Bell. Bell stepping well. There's the siren. Gale keeps it alive for Stewart. Stewart heard a call just to take the tackle. He does that. And after 40 minutes of play, nothing in it at all. Two great sides locked together at 6-all. 6-all, the Raiders and the Broncos start this second half. Mistakes are plenty in the first 40 when in possession for both sides. Meninga asking an important question of Eddie Ward. I'd like to know the answer. Gene Miles, the opposite captain, might have liked to have been involved in that conversation as well. Welcome into all our viewers in New Zealand throughout Sky and TVNZ. And to everybody here in Australia, how remiss it was of me at the start of the match. Happy Easter to you all from everybody here at 10 Sport. Tessman. One of the workers in the Brisbane side. And workers in the first half. Well, Brisbane made 96 tackles, Canberra 86. Miles with 13 led the way for the Broncos. Todd and Steve Walters shared it. 11 apiece for the Raiders. Allen. Kerrod Walters out for Langer, who has support on the inside from Gilmister. Wayne, the report from half-time.
Yes, Graham, both coaches emphasised the need for better ball control, which was quite obvious, but Wayne Bennett expressed concern that the Brisbane Broncos aren't playing to their strength, which is their backs, and he's asked their forwards to give them some room to move. Tim Sheens, on the other hand, was particularly worried about marker defence and the number of gaps that Kerrod Walters is finding around the rucks.
Wayne, was there any report about the balls or any concern about the balls, mainly about handling?
Mainly about handling, actually, about ball control. Both coaches emphasised that if the respective teams wanted to win this match, then they had to concentrate on tying the ball up. So I'm sure in this second half we'll see a lot more two-handed carrying of the ball in possession. Yes,
but no complaints about the ball itself like there has been in recent weeks.
No, well, no more than usual.
Players haven't been happy with them, Bill.
Yeah, but a coach, you know, you don't get time at half-time to talk about those sorts of things because they're out of your control. You've got more immediate problems.
Hancock. Meninga left a bit of a gap that he had to close quickly. Gilmister. Away from Lazarus, but he couldn't get right away. 10-8 those handling errors against Brisbane. Tessman. Starting to run with a little bit of support, the Brisbane forwards, going up in 2s and 3s. Langer. Run around with Kevin Walters. Back up the middle for Curry. He changes the angle for Johns. Johns taken by Ricky Stewart. He's taken just inside the 22. Langer. Kevin Walters. Gavin Allen. He gets it back for Miles. Miles taken by Daly. He gets it out to Plowman. Inches short on the last tackle. Kevin Walters, blindside try, easy. They had the numbers easily. And what a great start to the second half for Brisbane. They were asleep here, Canberra. Allen got it back on the MMI replay for Miles, and it was Plowman. Another couple of rolls, maybe one roll, and he's over the line. On the last, though, nobody filled the blind. Daly went the open, he should have stayed the blind. He ran from the blind to the open, left it open for Miles.
You'll see on the replay it was Mark Bell's wing, but he'd made the tackle. He's there at mark, and no one filled in for him out on the left flank, and Miles capitalised.
Second try of 91 for Gene Miles. The sales rep at 29 years of age, the veteran, one of in this great Brisbane side on our MMI player profile. Well, the crowd had hardly had time to settle back into their seats after the break. Very concerned, the Raiders.
They should be concerned at how far Brisbane went in that set of 6, Graham. The length of the field with a try at the end of it. Not good. How much are they missing Dean Lance?
What about goal kickers? Are they missing Madison? Langer got close. 10-6, Brisbane over Canberra. Miles more than happy that they got the first try after the break. Both sides going into this game, their defensive record, Brisbane had 22 scored against them, 21 Canberra, but Canberra had piled on 54 points, the Broncos only 24. Curry allows the ball nearly to come to a full stop. This is where they've been guilty, both sides, of making mistakes as well.
But what Brisbane have done is get out of here too easily against them. And they lost some good players in the off-season, Canberra, John Ferguson, Chris O'Sullivan, but none more than Dean Lance, their lock, come second row forward. He used to plug up those holes.
We talked about those holes against Parramatta, and it's difficult for them coming off an easy game and getting their line intact.
The gaps were there against Parramatta. Parramatta found chinks but didn't go on with it. Brisbane are starting to go on with it.
Lazarus. Strong defence from Tessman on him. Barnhill. Barnhill will run alone. Getting to his feet quickly, the penalty had to come. They've got to take this shot at goal. Quickly to his feet, and the foot was stuck out there from Brisbane. Right under the nose of Eddie Ward. Well, Meninga missed one, much to the joy of the big crowd here at Lang Park, right next to the post in the first half. And this one is on the 22 and right in front. %. Hits that one strongly and correctly. And now they get a little closer. Brisbane 10, Canberra 8. Broncos back for the restart, and Brisbane last year here at Lang Park, well, they lost only one home game. That was to North Sydney. 22-20 they got Canberra here last year.
In the only time that they've beaten the Raiders, in 4 starts.
Coyne. That really seemed to be running in the twos that we expect them in attack. Canberra not backing each other up. Barnhill. At least they get it away from that danger area.
I'm just wondering if Laurie Daly's proving a bit of a problem at lock. He's in there and he's got to do a little bit of the hard work, and that might just be taking the edge off him for attack. He doesn't know whether he's an attacker or whether he's a defender or whether he's a lock or whether he's 5'8". He's first man up there on chase, but where does he go from now? What position does he fill? How much work does he have to do? There are a lot of question marks in his mind playing in a foreign position.
In the 13 jumper this afternoon, some say the best 5'8" in the world. play him anywhere, really.
Oh, he's a terrific natural athlete, but he's a bit blunted in there in tight.
Kevin Walters, he hasn't been blunt today. Langer. Through the dummy, a couple fell for it, but now they've put it down. Even his own teammates might have been surprised when he turned it back inside. The dummy fooled everybody outside, but then Renouf had some defenders on him, and off his fingertips.
Very hard player to follow, Alan Langer, in that he's always got that option. If something shuts out on one side of him, he's alert enough to come back and look on the inside.
Now Daly at 5'8". He was looking for the penalty.
Should have been a penalty, 1 for the play the ball and 2 inside the 5, and they got nothing.
Barnhill. He'll play at 40 out. 6-4 the scrums to Brisbane. Todd. Flying over the top was Tessman. Lazarus. They make good meters, Canberra. Stewart goes to his back line. Daly. Meninga. Meninga kicking ahead. McDonald's on the chase. Hancock's there. He soccers it dead in goal. You've got to be confident to do this. So many times you can see where the ball might just bounce and make a fool out of you. Dangerous tactic, kicking it like that.
Yeah, I've always held the belief that it's just as easy to drop on the ball because the result's the same.
Langer with the restart under the posts. Canberra.
And this is where Daly's got to cut loose, Graham. It's no good in going in and playing like a traditional lock forward here. He's got to get himself out a couple of passes off the ruck, and he's the one that's got to produce things.
Barnhill. Just outside the 22.
A lot of easy yardage through the rucks there, Graham. This is where Brisbane's going to have to tighten their defence and move up both sides of the ruck.
Well, they try it now on the switch, Canberra, and they do keep their line. Tessman. Heavy tackle on Daly, but he still gets it back for Steve Walters. Chance now. Meninga. He just barrels them out of the road. This should be a try, no. Coming across, plenty of defenders. What an effort from Meninga. He's inches short. In fact, takes the corner post, angrily looks at the touch judge. What a run from Meninga. He can't believe it. Tackler after tackler was just bounced out of the way. He reaches out, get it down. That was a try. No doubt about it. Meninga got there. So a sensation at Lang Park. Have another look at it. Meninga gets it down well and truly before the post goes.
It was a photo finish, but he got it there.
No doubt in my mind whatsoever. So the Raiders should have 4 more. Could be a bonus here for Brisbane. Dowling.
Fate works in funny ways, and maybe that compensates for that try in the first half that Brisbane were denied off the foot.
It could be about right. So it's all square. Is that where we're going to leave it?
2 wrongs make a right.
There's the right score. It's 10-8 at the moment to the in goal and hits the corner post. And those corner posts working overtime.
They don't budge, do they?
Well, they're new corner posts here at Lang Park. New style. We're used to the black and white poles, and here they are. Well, they're even sponsored, aren't they? Ansett Australia grabs a share of the exposure here at Lang Park. Interesting, though, is that they're never damaged either. So it's a good idea here from the Broncos administration to bring those in.
Graham, I don't want to harp on it, but this 5 metres just isn't enough in this game. The players out wide are creeping up inside of the 5, and there's not the latitude for open football that these 2 teams need.
He got him back on a good 5 on this tackle. Gale, hands and knees can't get through. This time he gets them back again. Steve Walters turns them around. They were denied a try, Canberra. And that was the man. Well, he knew he got the try. He looked up straight away, Meninga.
No other player in the game would have even got close.
Incredible run. Hancock was one of the ones that couldn't hang on to him. Now he evades 1 tackle. Evades 2. Doesn't evade Lazarus. Looking a little tired, the Brisbane forwards are walking back. They've been defending for a little while, and it's starting to show. They need a big play to get them out of this area of the field. Madison. It's left up to some of the interchanges. Allen. Good determined run. Out near halfway. 10-8 they lead Brisbane. Langer with a long pass. He nearly gave an open invitation to Meninga to pick up the try that he was denied.
Now you'll see that Meninga was sweating on this. He was waiting. He knew that Langer likes to throw the long ball in these situations and put himself right in between the ball and the receiver.
The outstretched hand couldn't knock it up.
He'd have got that in about 1981-82.
Langer. Nearly the culprit. Out for Kevin Walters comfortably this time.
And Daly now almost filled in completely in that 5'8" position. He's spending a lot of time there.
Johns. Wrapped up by Daly. Madison. Well, Canberra well and truly looked to be offside in front of Eddie Ward. But it's still play on. Kevin Walters. Ducking, weaving, looking for the opening. Back to brother Kerrod. He pops a pass up. But a pass that I really couldn't understand was headed to where? Daly. Meninga. Again, he takes off on another run. Holding them at bay and putting McDonald away down the sideline, but McDonald left no space for Martin. Now Martin wants to argue with the touch judge.
Well, he was saying at no point did I go over the line or onto the line. It was McDonald who was trying to help me.
Well, plenty of other people ended up over the sideline. Did this man with the ball, Martin? At this stage, he hasn't. He still hasn't. We can't see his feet from there. But he looked to stay inside. They win against the feed. Meninga. Gale. Trying to do Johns with pace. Now Gale loses it. Well, you can't blame a ball. You can't blame anything here.
It's just an example of what both sides have been doing. They've made breaks. They've breached the defence, but each time they're trying to put a pass at the end of it.
Steve Walters did it against the feed 30 seconds ago. Not this time. Plowman. A very timely run for Brisbane. Things were starting to build for Canberra. Now Dowling takes over with a good ball to Gilmister. Kevin Walters gets it to halfway. Well, the players argue that was Ricky Stewart. Don't tell me it's going to be the replay to give him up again. It's not another situation of the players with the hands in the tackle, is it? Kevin Walters getting to his feet and Ricky Stewart flicked it out. Well, I would have to appeal to the league to really start to do something about this. It's gone beyond a joke.
No,
it is spoiling rugby league.
I can't blame the referees totally. If they're back the 5 metres looking for the players inside the 5, put them in the sin bin. That's exactly. If you catch them, put them in the sin bin. If you don't catch them, we'll get them at a later date. But if the referee's back 5 metres, he's looking at them being inside the 5. He's not looking at the play of the ball. If he gets over the play of the ball, they creep up.
Well, Lazarus now settling things down. Barnhill. Wayne, would you hit him in the pocket?
Well, I'd start it with the sin bin. I really think that's the only way that you can...
Yeah, but nobody's catching them, so how are you going to put them in the bin?
Well, even the referees do catch them. They're not putting them in the bin, so I think that's a good starting point, and that's something that the league has to support.
Well, they're making plenty of money. Take some off them, and let's get this game flowing.
Oh, it's all right for you. You've retired.
Forget about retirement. People are paying money at the gate. Miles. Miles keeps it alive now for Johns up the middle.
Graham, let's see if Brisbane now are going to do what Coach Wayne Bennett wants. That is, he wants a couple of forwards to hit it up the same way, get a backline set, and then move it back. But another knock on, they don't get that far.
Hancock puts it down. Simple stuff. Todd knocking it out with the pressure of the tackle over the top. Barnhill took it out of the scrum, and Eddie Ward is going to penalise Miles from breaking too quickly. Talk about a stop-start game. Well, Miles was out of there. He was caught easily. Meninga will put them in perfect position here. And they've had some good chances. The game is just sitting up and waiting to be won. Both sides are doing their best to lose it. Stewart. Todd. 2 points away, Canberra. 10-8, the Brisbane Broncos hang on here. Plenty of dummy runners. Up the middle is Lazarus. Met by Tessman, who put him off balance and then finished off by Dowling. And also Curry. Stewart. Stewart. Took it to the line, couldn't find a runner. Last tackle. Meninga at dummy half. 5 metres away, Canberra. Daly. Chipped ahead for himself. He gets the rebound. Nobody played at it. It's the last tackle. They couldn't find a way through. Dowling. Kevin Walters on the break. Wonderful chance here. Renouf is outside, now inside. Renouf is try-bound. From one end of the field to the other. Spectacular stuff here at Lang Park. Canberra guilty of not keeping their line. On counter-attack, they've been hammered by the Broncos. Dowling knew it was on from the start on the MMI replay. They were short, well and truly short. Renouf was covered outside. He went inside, knew the try was on there. Nobody got near him. And didn't they enjoy this one at Lang Park?
For all the mistakes that Brisbane make at their own end of the field, they can do this. They can score a try from anywhere. Kevin Walters played with a very cool head there to position Renouf, and I thought that Renouf played very smart. He left his run until the perfect time, chopped back inside and scored the 4.
Kevin Walters knew he has been playing well for the Broncos, and he positioned Renouf perfectly and gave him that clear run to the line. He picks up his second try in 91 right under the post. Only 20 years of age, and his form has been brilliant for the Broncos in 91. Madison with his kick from right in front to make things so difficult for Canberra. A long time left in this match. But this is going to be the perfect buffer for the Broncos. Another roar here at Lang Park. More points for Brisbane. And now they stretch it by 8. 16 points to 8, Brisbane over Canberra. Meninga is captain of the Raiders with the job ahead here to lift his side. Curry brings it back. Curry replaced Shearer, who had replaced Paul Hoff.
This is Curry's first game of fullback since August 1989, but he slotted in like he was never out of there.
Tessman. Their tails well and truly up, Brisbane. Langer for Miles. Cutting them open once more. Madison fumbles. So does Bell, and it will come back for the first knock on against Brisbane. But the gaps are there in this Brisbane line.
Yeah, they're pretty simple tackles that Canberra are starting to miss on the edge of the ruck now. That one should have been made. That was a grab, no shoulder in it.
And the feature is, Billy, that they're moving up in defence. In fact, they're offside for a start, but they're moving up, but they're not moving up as a unit. They're moving up in dribs and drabs. And the Gene Mileses and the Kevin Walters, they're slipping in behind the defensive line, and that's where they're falling down.
Wayne, is there much talk
Well, I can't hear too much from here. I think the hot weather's got something to do with that. But a feature of Canberra's game plan over the past couple of years, well, there's been two main features. One has been another drop ball penalty there.
Well, this is interesting. He's going to penalise Daly for not getting up and playing it correctly. Daly can't understand it. Now, he waits to get up and play it.
Fair enough.
Well, he was of the opinion that Walters had something to do with it. I think we've said enough about the mess there is in play the balls. Dowling. The Broncos look for another try. Gilmeister for G. Canberra can't allow another score. Madison. Dowling. Langer. Quickly, he gets it away. Kevin Walters puts it down.
That has got to be the football. That was a simple ball to take.
Daly. Meninga. They're trying to catch Brisbane out. Martin gets away from the sideline. He did well to do that. There's no dummy half for a long way. Penalty to Brisbane should have been. Well, that might say something about Canberra's effort. Nobody was within 30 metres of the man playing the ball.
Yeah, they're not here today. They are off their game, Canberra. They started off like a house on fire, but haven't been able to sustain.
Now, Martin got up to play it. Meninga was the nearest player who put him away, and he was tackled in back play. Martin could nearly have been penalised, probably should have. Langer. Gilmeister.
Graham, what I was going to say before was in days gone by, Canberra's counter-attack in a situation like that, if they make a half break, they'll go on with it. They'll get a quick play the ball and continue the attack.
Well, these guys are trying to go on with it. They're doing a better job of it. It's on the last. Langer quickly away from Ryan, who went up. Midfield bomb. Plowman is on Bell. He hammered him, loses it. Try! Renoff gets another one. Well, Bell was absolutely monstered by one of the biggest men on the field. How would you like to stand under a bomb like this on the MMI replay? Plowman absolutely crunched him. Ball comes free, and Renoff gets a double at Lang Park.
This was the last option for Langer. He'd run out of things to do. He looked outside, nowhere to go, so he finally put the kick in. But you can see here that Plowman creams Bell. Now, Bell did just about all he could. He took the ball. Plowman just absolutely belted him into the turf. The ball came loose, and who's there? Steve Renoff.
Well, if we have a look here, Brisbane, through sheer persistence, and Brett Plowman was the man, came through, put plenty of pressure on Paul Martin, and Steve Renoff was there to score the try.
Renoff. Renoff gets two, and they power. Shatter to the Canberra Raiders. Madison with his kick from out wide.
The damage isn't being done at that end of the field. It's the tackles they're missing up the other end.
And for Brisbane, it's been 2 tries in 5 minutes. The Raiders have got the ammunition to run them down, but I don't know if it's in good enough touch today. Madison from out wide, no goal. Impressive scoreline for the home team, though. 20-8. Brisbane over Canberra. Meninga. Well, they knew, and he knows, that only last year Canberra lost but 3 away games in a full season. They're headed for their second loss away in 91 in only round 3 of the Winfield Cup. Dowling.
And I just keep asking that question. How much do they miss Dean Lance and his work around the rucks? A toiler.
No Bradley Clyde, who now has a stress fracture of a kneecap, and that'll put him back in his hopes to play again this year, maybe till late April. State of origin might be out of call for him. Last tackle against Brisbane. Langer jinking around to create some space. He did it beautifully. And gets a beautiful roll too. McDonald to the field of play, 10 metres out from his own line. Surprisingly, the handling errors are against Brisbane.
I've got to say, I do like that 10-metre rule from the kick. He had plenty of space to work in there. He would never have got out of the in-goal without it.
And Canberra may not have got out of here without the penalty. They've been struggling. To half, or nearly halfway. Ryan. Stewart. Lazarus. He gets it back for Barnhill. Barnhill stands, gets it to Steve Walters.
Graham, I know they're behind by 12 points at the moment, but Canberra really do look a lot more tired than the Brisbane side, and that's something that I think the club will have to address in the coming weeks.
Wayne, there was a lot of suggestion going into this game about the halfback battle. Who's in front quickly?
Well, I'd say Alan Langer has got the points at this stage because he's been a lot more constructive around the rucks. I mean, Ricky Stewart's really been struggling to try and find a back line at times in this match. He's found one at the moment.
And he finds it through McDonald now back to Daly. Daly puts the foot down. Taken by Kevin Walters. Last tackle. Converted try required right now by Canberra. Steve Walters. Steve Walters still going. He'll get there. They hung off him, worrying about his supports. They forgot about the man with the ball. It was all too easy for him. He's a fine runner, no doubt about that, but on the MMI replay, they all stand back. Firstly, Langer, Dowling beaten on the outside, and then it was left to the cover defence and the fullback.
Brisbane employ a system of defence called slide defence. You'll see it in operation here where they just shuffle across the field waiting for you to make a decision. The problem with it is they've got to go up when they're near their try line, and they didn't and paid the price.
Well, this is complacency with a capital C, well illustrated here. The Brisbane defence, as Billy pointed out, slid across the field, but there was no real commitment nor enthusiasm there, and Steve Walters, he just strolled over for what turned out to be quite a simple try.
He would have enjoyed it because around his ankles was brother Kerrod, but not with enough time. Meninga misses, and the goal-kicking headaches, well, they're migraines now as far as Canberra's concerned. 20-12. The crowd probably thought their home team had shut out Canberra, but they've left them with a look back in. It's sure and certain that Brisbane know all about this Canberra side. The Raiders, formerly coached by the Broncos' current coach, Wayne Bennett. He took them to the grand final in '87. That was in the days when they had two coaches. Don Furner was also on the job down there in Canberra in those days.
Wayne Bennett still claims that Don Furner is the master of recruitment, that he's the man who this club has been built upon. All of the young players, he went out, he found them, and he nurtured them.
Barnhill. Bennett probably thought that they had their nose well and truly in front, and with it, the Winfield Cup points, but there's still enough time, and they've left the Raiders with a chance. Stewart into the open, needs the bounce, kicks ahead, and again, well controlled. Another kick is needed. Daly is chasing. Daly will score now. It kept on bouncing the right way for them. And what an effort from Hancock to get out of the in goal. For nearly 50 metres they had it on toe, but then right in the in goal area it broke away. Stewart just needed one more kick, and a favourable one here for Daly. Daly had it and overran it. Great cover from Hancock. It might be the play that now wins it for Brisbane.
Well, if it is, Renouf can take a bow. He was shoulder to shoulder with Stewart. I thought maybe a touch judge could have come on. He was off the ball.
Here he is now, Ranoff. Bad tackles made on him. Meninga fell for the dummy. Ranoff to the fullback, McDonald. And McDonald does the job when it was needed. On the handover now for Canberra. Some tired players here as the passages are going from one end to the other. And with that, there'll be some chances in open play. Ryan. Todd. Daly. Daly plays it quickly. Stewart. The back line that's standing flat. Meninga. He's going to chip for himself. Might have been too far. Curry did it well. And now comes up with a chance for Brisbane. Back on the inside is Hancock. Hancock does get there. They can say goodnight. Hancock saved one. And then 100 metres away, Hancock scores one. They've been forced to try something, Canberra, on the MMI replay. Meninga did just that, but Curry beautifully got down to the ball, to his feet quickly, and then just one pass, and they were split open. Hancock had an open try line. You're not going to catch him in that situation.
You're looking at a man here in Michael Hancock. You'll see him get the ball back inside off Curry. Now, Hancock was dropped after the Kangaroo tour. He'd lost form, he'd lost confidence, but here, a brilliant individual effort. He does it all on his own after he receives that pass and puts it under the black dot.
The greenkeeper from here in Brisbane, a Kangaroo of 1990 who has struggled to find his best form so far. A good match for him here this afternoon. Where did we go wrong? A lot of mistakes from the champs. Madison from in front. Hot day's work. Even hotter if you're a Canberra Raider. 26-12 Brisbane over Canberra. Let's go Broncos. They have in the second half, much to the discontent of the Canberra outfit and their coach Tim Sheens. Off the posts, back into the arms of Dowling. John Platt. Crowd of around 24,000 was announced here at Lang Park. I find that surprising. They announced one, I think, from memory, of around 25 for our first Friday night game here. It doesn't look to have even match that crowd.
And Graham, I don't think they'd be too pleased with this particular match too. I mean, neither side has played particularly good football, and that includes the Brisbane side, who are well in front.
Well, they might be in front by more here. Wayne Curry, he backed up superbly. He's cut down just 2 metres away. Sean Keating got there just in time, but they might only allay it for a couple of tackles. Now they lose it. Crowd was letting Eddie Ward know that they thought there was plenty of Raiders still offside, including Steve Walters. He still looked to be running back. Stewart.
Some of these Canberra forwards are struggling totally.
Todd. coin. Last tackle against Canberra. Ball was touched. It will fall easily for Hancock. "40 metres out from the Canberra line. 26-12 in favour of the Broncos. Madison. They have players out injured, Canberra. They have goal-kicking problems.
And they're not fully fit yet.
Yes, and if they were concerned about a false sense of security after last week's match against Parramatta, they were right.
The danger signs were there against Parramatta. It wasn't if they did it so comfortably. That was anything but a complete performance.
Ball goes down here. Pressure pass to Allen. Only about a minute to go. Meninga with Daly. One of the few times they've worked a combination to get clear. Kick infield for Martin is too far. Getting back there in cover. We can try and find an unlisted player for the Broncos.
Willie Morganson.
Now we've got it.
Grade.
Dowling for Langer. Kevin Walters puts it down as he was just about clear. He was going to go right through the gap, but coughed it up. Proving the form all wrong after getting beat 20-12 by St George. Such a difficult proposition at home. Martin on the chase. Kevin Walters gets back there to clean it up. Time might beat everybody for the scrum too. It's just about up. Martin was on the chase. There it is now. Walters beat Martin to the ball, and the Broncos have beaten the Raiders convincingly here at Lang Park. 26-12 for the Broncos. Miles, G, Renouf got 2. Hancock the try scorers. Langer a goal. Madison 2 goals. Gale and Walters the try scorers for Canberra. Meninga 2 goals, but 2 from plenty. And they've got problems, as I said, with their kicking. A big performance, 26-12.